How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Fizz Final Form Frieza and Final Form Cooler, the long-awaited, much-requested Frieza and Cooler duo unit. Now, it does appear that they are a TUR, and from what we can tell, they're probably not going to awaken into an LR, but, you know, anything can happen. But given their stats and where they're at now, it's pretty likely they're going to be an easy A TUR. So we may have gotten a bit overzealous assuming they were going to be an LR. But either way, for a TUR, they're actually really, really good for free-to-play units. So we're going to test them out here. We do have them not fully max links, but we do have the max links on the one link that matters for a villain unit, and that is Big Bad Bosses. So enough to do a showcase. So let's take a look here. While in the Frieza form, they get P2 and attack defense 150%, plus an additional attack 25% with each turn passed, up to 100%, so 4 turns and they're fully built up, and reduces damage received by 20% when HP is 50% or more, plus an additional 50% attack, and medium chance of performing a critical hit when HP is 80% or less, plus an additional attack defense 150% when performing a super attack, and if there's another Wicked Bloodline ally attacking in the same turn. Plus an additional attack defense 100%, reduced damage received by 20%, and an additional key 2 in chance of performing a critical hit 50% when all allies are extreme. And this is in the Frieza form. Once we hit turn 5 or 50% or below HP, we can transform into the Cooler. Now, while in Frieza, we are greatly stacking attack and raising defense for the turn. So we're going to go ahead and test him out here. We do have him exactly where we want him, and that is next to the Final Form Frieza. So you can see here, 180k defense, not a whole lot. We do have, basically, we have 4 out of 7 links here active, so not bad. Obviously, it could be looking better, but you know, it could be another week or so before we get the max links. And I do want to get this showcase out so you guys can at least see what we're dealing with here. They have some incredibly powerful possibilities on their defense numbers, so we do want to take advantage of that. Right? While in the Cooler form, if we build up enough in Frieza, we're talking about, you know, a unit that can hit, you know, up to 2.7 million defense. Like, that's crazy. Okay, so no additional super this turn. Remember, we are stacking attack, so the longer we can stack the attack, the greater he's going to be. Alright, so we do have him on Slug's team now. They won't directly benefit from Slug's team via stat bonuses, but they will benefit from Slug's team in the sense that they will have, they will be able to deal more damage when facing superclass enemies. Alright, but you can see here, like, turn 1, 7 million for a free-to-play unit, right? He's already outpacing the likes of, for turn 1 at least, outpacing even the Dokkan Fest Lord Slug. Not saying Lord Slug's bad there, but just to give you context for how good this free-to-play unit is. Alright, and then Slug eats the super. Nice, and then we get the attack raise on the Meki Kabura. So I'm kind of just running him here. Normally I would run Metamacha or something and Anliza, but I do not want to deal with their failures to dodge today. So we're just going to keep this going. Alright, so we can see here the attack jumped up a little bit here. We do have support from the Bojack on this turn, so we will take advantage of that. There we go. Alright, so again, we have 40% damage reduction here, so we're, oh nice, on the Frieza, that's good. With 40% damage reduction here, we're probably okay post super. I think he can get like 800. If we get an additional super, we're over 1.1 million on the defense, but you know, without that, we're probably like 800k, which with 40% damage reduction is more than enough for most normals. So there we go, second turn, right, a little bit of support, we got 10 million. Actually, I think we had more support, and then again, no additional super this turn. So technically, we are fully built up now. Right next turn when he shows up, he'll be fully built up with the 4 turns. Because since it says turn past, I'm fairly certain it's counting off, turns where they're off rotation as well. Usually that's how it works with these passives like that. So it's counting right like this turn here as well. There we go. Nice. All right, and we get the additional super out of the slug. Man, seeing what this guy is capable of at Rainbow really makes me feel like I should try to get at least one more copy of him, but I know I shouldn't. Especially with Jiren coming up soon. Alright, so let's do this. So we're in this 3rd phase, but here's where things get a little tricky, because now we're dealing with a character who, I mean, while we do have type advantage, so that might not be too bad. We're dealing, so we can't say it is the 5th turn, we can't transform. I'm going to hold off on transforming. I'm going to give him one more attack stack, and then we'll transform him next turn. Okay, so, see here. Let's do that number. Alright, so defense, not the greatest, obviously, and then we're losing him a little bit here. And the super, if it connects on any, which, I mean, the super's not going to do anything to anyone here. I mean, the Frieza might take a little bit of damage, especially because they can, but having type advantage here is probably going to help us out a lot. Alright, so 10 million we're up to, so that, without the Bojack or the Kid Buu support. And again, no additional attacks, so yeah, I definitely feel like we do want to transform next turn. Alright, so he didn't super the, he didn't end up supering the Frieza, which means it's possible he could super the Slug here. I'm honestly not sure. I've never had this happen where Slug had to eat this super without the domain, so I'm honestly not sure if he does. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, well now we get the domain back up. Okay, so we'll let this Slug and Bojack... Actually, let's float off. Oh, there's the supers. Ah, okay. Alright, keep Meki Cobbler on, actually, and just float the Bojack. Alright, Slug should tank this. Wait, especially since we have his domain up, and he's... Oh, wow, that actually did a lot. Okay, but the second one, we should be fine. There's a 1.8 million on the first one, and then the second one is 2.2. But post-super, he shouldn't take anything on the second one here. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, especially with a triple super here, he's good. And now I'm kind of feeling we should have just let Bojack untransform because he's not going to get to attack this turn. And there goes the super, which shouldn't do anything post-triple super with all of our damage reduction up. Yeah, there we go. Alright, excellent. Alright, so now we enter the second end phase, which is a scripted turn, so we probably don't have too much to worry about. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn animations on so we can actually see their animations, because it's actually kind of sick. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look here.
Armies or clans alike, they are ultimately destined to be eliminated. For there is only one who can be crowned the strongest. And that title shall be mine!
Not gonna lie, that's actually really good for a free-to-play unit. Okay, so let's do this number. Grab that. Alright, so we can see that, 180k defense, not the greatest. Attack's looking pretty good. So now that we're in cooler, right, we want to take a look at the passive details here. We got key 2 and attack and defense 150%. We're reducing damage received by 20% for 1 turn from his entry turn. Plus, we have an additional damage reduction of 20%. Launch 2 additional attacks, each of which has a medium chance of performing a super attack. And an additional 200% when performing a super attack. Plus an additional attack and defense 30%. And an additional damage reduction 10% within the same turn with each super attack performed. He also launches an additional super attack every time the character performs 3 or more super attacks once within a turn. Now, combine that with the fact that he is raising attack and defense for 4 turns, we should be able to see some pretty decent stuff out of him here. But let's play around here. Let's see. So we could put him in front, but the normals here are actually, what are the normals? 690k, which with damage reduction and only 100k defense, he would still take he would still take a bit from here. And understand that's why we're not putting him in slot 1, especially with that many attacks. Post super probably fine, but pre super nah. Okay, remember we're still dealing with a free to play unit. But here's the first super. Ooh, I like his super attack. That's actually pretty good. Okay, we get the additional super. So we are building up here. Alright, we get the medium. There we go. Okay, so now we have a guaranteed additional super here. There we go. And now we're up to 12 million. Honestly, that's not that bad for a free-to-play unit. Look at that. Okay, and that brings us into the final phase here. Super attack here is 1.9 million. Okay, so on Nike Kabata, that's actually not going to be terrible at all, especially since we're going to be grabbing 7 green players here. Oh, perfect. I'm not going to use their active skills. I'll save that for next turn. So, honestly, I mean, for a free-to-play unit, this dude kind of rocks. I can't complain at all. Alright, now, unfortunately, next turn... See, now I'm really wishing we didn't. I'm really wishing now we didn't transform the Bojack. But, I mean, it's fine. It's no big deal. We got to see him with Kid Buu support, I think, which is more than good enough. Although, he would be stronger this turn with the support. Because, right, Bojack would be giving us 60%, 65% support? 60% support. There we go. Alright. Oh, no. Shoot. Is our Bojack going to kill? Our Bojack might. Or not Bojack, Slug. If he gets his additional... Well, I don't know. Mine's only 55%. He's not going wild like the other one. Oh. Yeah, he might. Ah, we almost had it. Okay. But, I mean, that's fine. We got to see the turns we wanted to see, because basically that turn, what you saw at the very end there, that was fully built up. 4 supers gets him fully built up. So that would be his fully built up turn, meaning his next turn, he's getting, he is going to be starting at that 12 million, which would be really nice, right? So you combine that with the fact that he's launching additional supers. Now, those supers won't get any, like, each super he does, within that turn will be getting slightly stronger, but it's not going to carry over to the next turn, right? So, honestly, it's pretty good. Again, we're dealing with a free-to-play unit. Defense still, I mean, in the Frieza form, defense definitely does leave a lot to be desired. So if you can protect him when in Frieza form, he's going to be okay. 1.1 million defense with 40% damage reduction. It's manageable, right? It's not the worst in the world. Now, where he gets crazy, as you saw, is in the cooler form. In cooler, he's got all of those additional attacks. And granted, they are a medium chance, and so that's my big gripe with them. Like, so we got a really good showing in that we procced most of the additional supers here that turn, those 30% chances, and then we got our guaranteed super because we did get the 3 supers. So as long as you can kind of get him to get the 3 supers, he's going to be looking all right. Is why I feel like one of his best builds going to require critical hits and additionals, because one, as you guys saw, he did not have critical hit in his passive, so he does want to take critical hit from his hidden potential system, and then of course the additionals to help ensure that you get that guaranteed extra super. So guys, that is it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below let us know, what do you guys think of the Fizz Frieza? Honestly, I think for a free-to-play unit, this is not maybe not the best free-to-play unit we've ever had, but they have been knocking it out of the park with these free-to-play units lately, and these guys are just one in another line of that succession. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.